He's John Ryan.
He's Jonathan Prince. Or is he? According to some people, they're paying him for other people's work, mate.
Let's not go there. Let's not go there. We are brutally honest.
We are brutally honest. You know, I've been laughing about it all week.
Right, we're going to have to go there, aren't we? So,
go on, let's start with that. What happens?
Okay, so I was really happy because I got contacted by quite a famous comedy club in Brighton. And I'd performed there a little while ago, and they kind of said, "Oh yeah, we want to stay relevant during the lockdown. Would you mind us using your video?" So I was like, "Yeah, of course. Like, you can use my performance. That'd be cool." And then about 2 weeks later, I got a message saying, "Oh, we want to give you some money. We've got a load of donations for your performance or for the live act night that we put on." And I was like, "Oh, cool. But really, you should let people know when they are going to perform on these, because I would have liked to have watched it and I'd have drummed up some support." And they went, "No, that's all right. Just send us an invoice." So I sent them the invoice and they paid me. And I went to look for myself online, and I couldn't find myself, man. And I looked at the show that they were talking about, and I wasn't really on there. And then I started to giggle to myself, thinking, maybe they've just mistook me for another black man.
Yeah.
And turns out they'd mistook me for another black man.
Easily done. Easy mistake. You know?
To their credit, we both have the word Prince in our names.
There you go. See? Easy mistake. No, it's not being racialist, mate. It's an easy mistake.
Indeed. So I went from being really gleeful and happy that I'd been paid for a gig while on lockdown to a case of mistaken identity and having to pay them back.
Hilarious, man. But you know what's even funnier is the guy that they thought you were is a good friend of mine, and he's Somali, and he would have come and chopped you up, mate. You'd be going, "Oh, no, take back the money. You'll go, "This is principle. This is Africa versus Caribbean. This is principle." Chopped up, mate. I'm going to tell him. About you. He won't care that you're on the shields. You don't care
I
about
know
them.
brother. I was actually going to reach out to him and say, see that money that you got? That's because of me, that is. Like,
you see this doll's head hairdressing thing I got? You paid for that. You can name it after him.
I haven't had any names yet, but for the doll yet, but I'm sure that'll come up in the next couple of weeks. The video where we spoke about the doll, I haven't released it yet. So just to let people know, right now we're on like 8 weeks in to the to the lockdown. One thing I've noticed is that like there's some lockdown sagas going on, isn't there? Like I've noticed you can get a bit ratty sometimes about things that you wouldn't normally get ratty about. I kind of got a bit pissed off about garlic the other day. I won't go into it, but
normal garlic or wild garlic?
Oh no, just any kind of garlic would have been good to finish off the meal that I was trying to cook, and I just ended up going like irate because there was no garlic.
Come on, man! What? How can you eat from the Caribbean and you can't find a substitute? We have no garlic. I will use some ginger.
You're so right. You're so right.
Yeah. They go, what? I go back. I remember going to my friend Jerry's house going, "What is this?" He goes, "It's jerk chicken." I went, it's like lamb. He goes, "Yeah, I didn't have no chicken." So we started off as jerk chicken. Ain't no jerk. There's no jerk on it either. He went, "Nah, well, you can't really do jerk lamb. So it's just lamb. You just shut up and eat it." I'm like, okay. You know what I was going to say, right? I used to write a newspaper column for an Irish newspaper. Did it for 5 years. And then every now and again, I book a gig at an Irish centre around the country. I get a couple of Irish acts and they come with me. So I got recommended this guy. And they said, yeah, you know, he's a really good bloke. You'll get on great with him. Picked him up. We got on like a house on fire. Done the gig. He was brilliant at the gig. And on the way home, he said to me, "Look, mate, I need to apologise to you for something." And I said, "What's that?" He said, "Well, I think I stole your gig." I'm like, "What, the gig we just done?" He went, No. Last year in September, some guy rang me up and said, "Oh yeah, you're the comedian, right? Yeah, we want to come and do our show. Corporate gig, corporate money, so good money." He said when he got there, they said to him, "But we really want you to do the story about the snails because my wife thinks that's hilarious." And he's thinking, "I ain't going to story about no snails." So he said, "All right, okay. Anything else?" I went, "Yeah, and do the thing about Dolan sausage." I went, what is this Dolan sausage business? Anyway, he'd done the set, was really good, got his money. Then the bloke said, "You didn't do anything about the snails." And he went, "Well, I don't know what you're talking about." He said, "Well, you write about it in your newspaper column." And the guy went, "No, that's John Ryan. I'm Davy Ryan." He went, what? Yeah, you got the wrong bloke. And the guy took the money. But to be fair to him, he fessed up to me, but after the gig that we've done. So I can see how it happens.
It's a bit different. At least he actually did the work, though, right? Whereas I got paid and hadn't actually done any work, so I had to give the money back then.
Yeah, but you see as well, that's the difference between Irish people and non-Irish people. Because let's be brutally frank here. If you had done what that guy had done, and I'd rung you up to come do the gig, you'd have felt guilty. You thought, no, I'm busy. I don't want to be, in case I'm setting him up for beating, right? But because he's Irish, he's like, I take my chances. You know, that's how it goes. I wouldn't worry about it. Your loss is my game. I'll buy you a beer. So, yeah.
Right, I also noticed, that every morning, it might have been happening before the whole lockdown, I just hadn't noticed, but every morning there's kind of like comes into conversation over breakfast, different items of food that I have eaten the night before. And then I realised what's actually going on. Yeah, my missus is doing a stock take, mate. Every morning, I'm sure.
But you're an eater.
It's like, oh yeah, I've got munchies. I'll just have this. I'll just have that. I'll just have that. She's gone to bed. I can have this. Now, mate, I've been caught. There's a stock take going on. So I need to go to the outdoor bin or something. I feel like an alcoholic hiding bottles in the bush.
I've got one of them living in my house. I'm like, you know what? I don't really eat a lot of biscuits. But every now and again, I might have a cup of coffee, have a little biscuit. And then the other day, I normally bring coffee up to her every day because I get up first. But she got up first. And she said, do you want coffee? I went, yeah, can we have one of them cookies? She went, what cookies? So the cookies that we bought at the supermarket on Friday, she went, it's Tuesday. I'm like, yeah. She goes, they're not going to be there after 4 days, are they? I'm like, what do you mean they're not going to be there? Half of them was mine. She went, well, I had my half, and then I had to get through your half to get my half. So, mate, you're eater. You and her couldn't live together. You kill each other.
Do you know what? I just don't know what it is, because like if I mention something about like food that she's eaten the night before, then I get some kind of look that stops me from mentioning it again. So yeah, I've just got to be aware of the stock take. All the men out there, be aware of the stock take.
It's not even a stock take. It's decency. I'm like, what do you mean ain't no cookie? But I'll tell you the best one of all, right? So in our house, understand, I love this woman to bits, right? You know, she's just, there's no one like her, but she's crazy. And I've realized through lockdown, and we're not talking like a mental health issue here. We're talking about pure born crazy. It ain't like you can cure her or treat her or do anything. Right. So in the morning, when the beast wakes up, you can't talk to it. You can't talk to it until it says good morning to you. Because if you go good morning, it's like, ah! So, okay. So normally, like if I wake up and then she gets out of bed and she walks around the bed, she could be asleep, just going to the toilet, come back to bed, right? Or she could be woke up and thought of something and off to do it. And she says, good morning. I'm like, good morning. And then we're away for the day, right? Anyway, don't wake the beast up. So at weekends, no alarm clocks are allowed in our bedroom at weekends, okay? But I'll still get up like 7:30, 8 o'clock. So Sunday morning, I'm in my little office, just reading the paper. Then I hear the alarm go off, and I'm thinking, oh my days, this is not going to end well. If the beast is woken up by the alarm clock on a Sunday, she's going to kick off, right? That phone is going out the window, mate. It's going out the window. So I kind of got to the door, and then she woke up, turned off the phone, and looked at me. And before I was going to say, I didn't do it, I did not set an alarm on your phone for a joke on it, she went, morning. What are you doing? I said, I was reading the paper. She said, why don't you come back to bed? I'm thinking, okay, Sunday morning, there'll be a morning. I'm in the mood I'm thinking it must be my vest or my pants or I'm wearing them. It's just warmed her up, mate. So she goes to the bathroom, comes back into the bedroom in this kind of one-piece lycra, not like a swimsuit, but you know, like them gymnastic suits. I'm thinking, all right, a little bit of dressing up. And she says,
it's called a body, by the way. I think that thing's called a body. That one.
Body. Something like that. Yeah, body, something like that. Yeah. Have we got any beans? I'm like, beans? Yeah, we've got some beans. I'm like, oh my, this is just getting better. I'm getting beans on toast in bed, right? Then I'm getting some morning magic. It's like, it's 8:30 in the morning. This is going to be the best Sunday of lockdown. And I'm waiting. After 20 minutes, Jonathan, there's no sign of her. So I go to the kitchen. She's in the kitchen, she's in the front room. I look out in the garden. She's in the garden doing aerobics with 2 tins of beans. And the woman next door, her side of the fence, and the two of them are, and reach together, up together. I'm like, what? Come back in 9:30. I'm like, what? Where's my beans on toast? Yeah, go on, you make the beans on toast. I'll go back to bed. I had to bring a breakfast in bed.
It could have been worse, mate. She could have like started like throwing the beans on herself and that. Made a right mess in the old bedroom. To me.
You know, another thing I've learned from lockdown is this woman's got a superpower I never knew she had, and this is one to find out if it's normal. Can you eat beans straight out of the tin cold?
I've known people who do. I'm not a fan of beans, to be honest. I know.
These people live amongst us, and they can eat cold beans. That's nasty. I looked at her one day just eating beans out of the tin. I'm like, what is wrong with you? Was she like born in a concentration camp or something? What is this? Beans straight out of the tin. Shocking.
I've got a surprise for you this week. You were talking a few weeks ago about your father and explaining he loves
he loves country music. Loves country music. Yeah.
So I wrote a country song for him. I'm a bit of an idiot, right? Sometimes I write stupid songs, as we spoke about earlier on in the series. And there was one song that I wrote because, as you can see right now, I'd be running around my house looking for my afro comb. And I'd said to her, like, where's my comb? And she was like, you're an idiot. And I was like, what? And she was like, oh. And I was like, oh. And she was like, one day you're going to leave the house with that comb in your hair. Yeah. Which to me, I thought to myself, this is great because she hated country music. So I wrote like the first bit of this country song. And I realised when you said about your pops that I hadn't written the rest. So I'm going to show you now what I wrote in the week.
You're sharing with me. All right.
Track goes, song's called One Day You're Going to Leave the House with That Comb in Your Hair. Okay, right, here we go. So it goes, one day you're gonna leave the house with that comb in your hair.
Yeah.
One day you're gonna leave the house with that comb. And when you go leave the house with that comb in your hair, they'll look and wonder where it is that you roam.
Brilliant.
'Cause it's a style you should wear only when you are at home. A style you should wear only when you are alone. That bloody comb in your hair. Oh man, I've forgotten the lyric. My only lyrics.
That's shocking, man. That's building up. Oh, my dad's here. He's alive again. I can see him dancing in the corner. And then you killed him again. 7 years it took me to go over him to die the first time. And now he's come back and gone again. What are you doing to me, man? Torture me. Take that comb out your head and stick it in your eye. What are you doing? What's the matter with you?
Oh, sorry, I'm going to have to go through it one more time, bro, just quickly. So it's a style you should wear only when you are alone. Style you should wear only when you are at home. That doggone comb in your hair. I can't remember the lyrics, bro. I'm going to have to come back.
Mate, you know, Bob Marley, he would never have made a career with this sort of memory, would he?
He wouldn't have done, but he also wouldn't have written this song because he had nothing to say in the podcast, and then not be able to say the song.
He would have. He would have. I bet you. If Bob Marley had hair issues like you, right? Let's just face it, you got hair issues.
Hair issues.
That's why he bought that head. So he can muck up two heads of hair at the same time. So, but he wouldn't. He would never have written. Do you know what I mean? Redemption song. How long? Oh, it's gone. It's gone. Do you know what I mean? No woman. Yeah, it's gone. He'd never been heard of. He'd have ended up working like a grocery shop in Kingston.
That's very true, man.
Work on your
goddamn hair everywhere, picking it up all day long.
But it has given me an idea. You have inspired me because, as you know, I'm always inventing stuff, and I think there should be that comb should have a lead on it. USB goes into the computer, and then when you're going too far, I could just press a button on my keyboard like Shift F and 5 and send you an electric shock to your head. And that would
have me on like attempt number 2, right?
Oh, you wouldn't have got as far as that, right? And the thing is, that shock would reset your brain, and the electricity would straighten your hair out. You wouldn't need a comb. It's genius. Mate, I'm a genius. I don't even know why I'm here. I should be
you want me to remote electrify my afro comb so that you can have the trigger.
I can shoot you, yeah. I should be in my shed inventing this stuff like Professor Potts. Remember Professor Potts from Chitty Chitty Bang Bang?
No.
Mate, yeah, I've missed out on a lot of culture and history here, man.
One day you're gonna leave the house with that comb in your hair.
One day you're gonna leave the house with that comb. And when you go and leave the house with that comb in your hair, they'll look and wonder where it is that you roam. 'Cause it's a style you should wear only when you are alone. A style you should wear only when you are at home. Your bloody hair's everywhere, picking it up all day long. That lockdown comb in your hair at home ain't wrong. One day you're gonna leave the house with that comb in your hair. One day you're gonna leave the house with that comb